Hello boys. Today I'll be giving you a little description about the poem The Violet by Jane Taylor. This is specially meant for class 6 boys. Alright, the poem that we never got an opportunity to teach you in the class because of the lockdown. Anyway, here goes the poem. The Violet, written by Jane Taylor. Down in a green and shady bed, a modest violet grew. Its stalk was bent, it hung its head, as if to hide from view. And yet it was a lovely flower, its colours bright and fair. It might have graced a rosy bower, instead of hiding there. Yet there it was content to bloom, in modest tints arrayed, and there diffused its sweet perfume within the silent shade. Then let me to the valley go, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow in sweet humility. So this particular poem comes with a message. What is the poet trying to learn from the flower? This violet flower is a very common flower, but the way the poet has written down about this flower, she explains to us the modesty, the simplicity of the flower, though it is very beautiful. You know how flowers are very pretty, isn't it? Though it is very pretty and it also diffuses good sweet perfume around it, it does not have any sense of pride. And it always likes to grow in the shady bower, alright, in the shade. In the forest area, it likes to grow in the shady bower, and it likes to stay away from human civilization. Because what do people do? If we look around, we tend to pick up the flowers which look very beautiful. And what do? We pick that flower up, we take it to our homes and we put it in the vases, and we try to, we let that flower decorate our house. So here, this pretty flower, it is always best to leave all these pretty things, the flowers that is growing around you, it is always best to leave it in its natural environment. Let it grace the earth. Alright, so here the poem goes like this. Down in a green and shady bed. Where is the flower growing? It is growing down in a shady bed where the flower is supposed to grow, and it is growing in the green. Green here depicts the forest, glade, forest area. And a modest violet grew. See, the word modest already explains what kind of flower it is. It is a very beautiful flower, but it does not have any sense of pride. And its stalk was bent, it hung its head. It was a very simple flower. And its stalk was bent and it hung its head as if to hide from view. So it looked as if it was hiding from view. View meaning to say that it was hiding from any human beings. Second stanza now. And yet it was a lovely flower, its colours bright and fair. Although it was a lovely flower, it was there in where was it? It was growing there in the shady bed. And it might have graced a rosy bower instead of hiding there. So the poetess says, it might have graced, that means it might have resembled a rosy bower, or a bunch of roses. Have you seen a bunch of roses? Together, how does it look? It looks very pretty, isn't it? It looks so delicious. The fragrance. So with that, the poet compares this particular violet. Violet itself explains the color of the flower, violet purple. Alright. So but then the poetess says, it looks so beautiful. It looks like a bunch of roses. But why is it hiding in the shade there? Okay. And in the third stanza now. Yet there it was content to bloom in modest tints arrayed. Now it was not complaining. It was not complaining where it was blooming. So as the saying goes, bloom where you're planted. Alright. So we have a lot to learn from plants like this. So here this particular flower, the violet, did not complain of where it was growing. But it was very content. Content meaning to say very satisfied to bloom there. And in modest tints arrayed, and there diffused a sweet perfume within the silent shade, and it did not complain. The only thing that it did was spread beautiful fragrance around it. Like there is another saying, when you try to crush a rose, alright, what does the rose do? Even you crush the rose, the rose will leave back very sweet perfume in your hand, isn't it? So no matter what you do to the flower is a very delicate flower. The flower will not harm you. So that is what the poet is trying to explain to us. We have a lot to learn from natural environment. Now the last stanza. Then let me to the valley go, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow in sweet humility. So the poetess says, let me to the valley go, let me go to the valley. So here, if you see, the sentence is not in a proper structure. Now this is done because the poet has to rhyme the sequence, isn't it? Like for example, like here, then let me to the valley go, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow. So that is why go rhymes with grow. That is why the sentence is not put in a proper structure. Don't think that the language is incorrect. The language is totally correct, but the poet can do this. A poet can do this for the sake of rhyme. Rhyme means here, like you can see, go rhymes with the word grow. So in the same way, see rhymes with the word humility. So that is known as rhyming. So here, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow in sweet humility. So the poetess says, let me also be humble and simple, just like the flower. Alright, so hope this explanation was helpful for you to understand the violet, which was done a long time ago but haven't been able to give you an explanation. I have already given you certain work on this chapter, so make sure that you follow it up, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.